Hey, hello. Hi, 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 hi. Hello. I hope you guys had a great day today. Hope you had a great day. I hope you had a good day today. Let's go ahead and share this feed. We're going to have a great live tonight. Go ahead and share this feed with some family and friends. We're going to get into some good conversation tonight. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you for jumping on tonight. So I'm excited. We are in really exciting times right now. The opportunities are vast in real estate. We have a huge wealth gap that we need to close right now. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Hi, Andre. Hey. We have a huge wealth gap that we need to close right now. And my prayer is that we will start to see the statistics and the numbers greatly decrease where people of color are concerned and investing in hard assets. I think I read that out of like 100% of all real estate, we have, I think, about 80% of our white brothers and sisters that own, but then we have 80% of them own. But I think for people of color, it's right around 40%, and that's just their primary property, right? This has nothing to do, Donna, with them investing. And so what I want to see is I want to see more of us own our own property that we actually live in. And then in addition to that, I want to see us begin to get into the wonderful world of investing even more. Because when you invest in property and you put tenants in it or you buy and flip, both I think should be happening. You have an opportunity to create cash flow, right? And the more cash flow you're able to create, now you're able to consider create what we call legacy wealth, right? And so that legacy wealth is going to put you in a position to not have to work so hard. So I'm going to be bringing somebody on tonight, Dominique Haver. I see you in the back room. I'm going to bring you on in just a moment. But my name is Jewel Tankard. Obviously, if you're on my live, you know that. But this community was created for the average everyday person to be able to come in and start investing in hard assets, residential, commercial. We have a financial ecosystem that's going to teach you pretty much everything from beginning to end. What stops most people from investing is their credit. I was on the phone today with a couple of hard money lender guys that you guys will have access to when you come into the community. And I was asking them, like, what is the credit score that you're ideally looking for? And that credit score, for a lot of them, it varies. But for the two I was on with today, they're looking, 700, 720 and above. And you can get access to money. A lot of times you can close on a deal in 5 days, 10 days. So you have your traditional mortgages that you'll have access to when you're in our community, but then you also have access to hard money as well, which allows you to kind of speed through the process. The beautiful thing about the banks is that once you start getting loans from the banks want to continue to give you money because it's how they make their money, right? And so now, next thing you know, you do one buy and flip, and then you do another buy and flip. And so now cash flow is coming. I talked to someone today and I asked them, I said, how much money have you made just on buy and flips this year? He said, right at about 1.7 mil. Why? Because what happens is once you get that hard money once, then you go back and do it again, you go back and do it again. And most of those loans are usually paid off within about 2 to 4 months, because that's usually how long it takes a contractor to get in there and do what they got to do, as long as it's a pretty traditional gut, right? A traditional gut is maybe like kitchen, bathroom, maybe some floors, maybe some electrical, nothing too crazy, right? If it's too crazy, then it could end up taking 6 months or 8 months. But I would probably say the average buy and flip is going to be about a 2 to 4 month time frame. So you don't need to have that money long term. You need to have it just long enough to be able to buy the property, get the rehab done, and then sell the property and then do it all over again. And next thing you know, you could end up making really nice, strong living with doing buy and flips. And so we have training and teaching on buy and flips. And then in addition to that, we have training and teaching on buy and holds, right? Where you buy the property, rehab the property, then put the tenant in the property. So tonight I'm bringing Dominique on, and his company is a part of the Tavares family, but what his company specializes in is buying the property and then fixing the property up and then getting the tenant for you. So by the time, Dre, you get ready, once you buy that property, you pretty much are, you don't have any work to do. The tenant is already there, it's already cash flowing. You're going to know what the comps are on the property. You're going to know how much you're going to get for the rent on the property. And then we can also connect you with property management to manage the property for you so that you're not taking on another job, right? And so the Tyververse community really is expansive from beginning to end, helping you with the credit, making sure you get the capital, and then helping you to find these amazing off-market property deals literally anywhere in the nation. And tonight we're going to be talking about Flint, Michigan, and particularly because this is where Dominique is and where his company is, but literally you could probably find people to do this anywhere in the country. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on here. Hey, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Excited to have you back on tonight. We had a great time last, I think it was last Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good, really good. So let's get into it. I know we got some guests on here tonight. I love what's happening in real estate. I love the opportunities. So tell us a little bit. I think you told us last week, and there are probably some people on here that don't know, but you got into real estate because you watched your parents. I think you said
Yes.
and they were investors.
Yes. Yes.
Got
So I
it.
got into real estate, saw my parent, grew up, saw when I was growing up, my parents were definitely investing in real estate, and I really saw how that transformed many things for them. So, I went to college, got into a job, and was like, you know what? It's my time to tap into real estate, and it has been life changing for me ever since. So now I'm really focusing on building out my rental portfolio, but throughout this time, investors have come to me and have said, wow, like, how can I do what you are doing? How can we replicate this and scale this out? And how can I see the success in Flint, Michigan? Because Flint, Michigan is definitely a hidden gem. You can definitely get properties for a pretty fair price, low price, that are going to give a great ROI.
Yeah, that is amazing. And so you started doing this turnkey situation. How long has it been? Is this your third year?
So I started doing the turnkey situation about 18 months ago, so almost 2 years ago. So I started full force in real estate, building out my rental portfolio 3 years ago. But throughout that process, just networking and meeting people, I was able to realize that there's definitely many others who are missing out on this market. So then that's where the turnkey strategy came in, and really just thinking about how I can bring other investors into this market, but really do everything for them. So if they have a turnkey property that is income generating, they don't have to worry about networking and finding contractors. They don't have to worry about tenant placement. If they're out of state, it's very easy for them to tap into this turnkey model and begin to collect rent and see a return on their investment.
Yeah, that is so sweet. So how many investors would you say you've worked with over these last almost 2 years?
Wow, that is a really loaded question. Lots of investors. So it really started with one great relationship, and then that turned into 10, and then from there, right? So, all of my investors have come back to buy a second property at the very minimal. So they've definitely seen a ton of success. Is definitely a market to tap into. Is definitely a market that many are not familiar with, or may sort of be underrated, right? But I've been able to work with tons of investors, and just really excited to bring light to how you can build a rental portfolio in Flint to others.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so, give us some examples. There may be some people on here tonight that are like, "Hey, you know what? I'm interested in investing." And I'll say this too, that all investment properties are not the same. And I'll tell anybody, real estate is not anything you just want to jump into.
Mhm.
Like, I think it's really, really important. And I know you would agree with this, Dominique, that you have a community. It's really important that you have people that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this? Like, you really want to make sure that that community is really important, because that's going to determine if you get to one door or five doors or 10 doors, or like you're at 30 doors now, which I think is amazing. It really depends on that. So community is really important. So give us some examples, and I can share the screen if you want to share some things with them tonight so that they can see some of the opportunities that are available right now. And so if you're part of the Timeverse community, you'll have access to these investment opportunities as well, and the support.
Yes, definitely. Happy to share. So, as of right now, I have a couple properties available, but you can get in from anywhere from 42,000, just being a very average property in the market. And this comes turnkey. And I also have a property available for 29,000 as well, which would be a slightly less nicer neighborhood, right? So, just depending on where you are in your investment journey, there are tons of options. So basically, the property is purchased and then you receive a scope of work. We go in, we do the work, we make sure that it passes Section 8 inspection, and that a Section 8 tenant is placed. At that time, you're passed over to a professional management company, and they're able to take care of your day-to-day operations of your rental. But it's really just a turnkey process where everything is handled on my end from start to finish. So for a property, most properties in this area, so let's say you were buying a property for $42,000, 42,500, right? This property is going to rent from anywhere from 850 to 900 a month. And I know, Jewel, you talk a lot about the 2% rule. This is definitely meeting that 2% rule. And the nice thing about this is that you are able to tap into this cash, or you can leverage creative financing, or figure out ways that you can tap into such a great return on investment without putting a ton of money in, right? You're able to own a home, a single family home, and tenants are responsible for utilities. So there's no cost on your end there. And you are able to receive that cash flow.
That is strong. 2% rule. So basically, that just basically means whatever the cost of the property is, you want to make sure that the rent is bringing in at least 2% of that, ideally, right? Some people do 1%. I like 2%, obviously. So if that property is, like you said, right at what, 29,000, you said, I
Yeah.
think, Dominique?
Yes.
29,000. And how much is their rent going to be every month?
That property would be around 750 per month.
I mean, guys, that's amazing. That is amazing. 750 every single month. And then you have another one that's 40, what is it?
42,500, and that one will rent between 850 to $900 per month.
Yeah, definitely 2% roll is there too. So again, you can see that this is huge opportunity here for you to be able to become an investor. You don't need a lot of money. A lot of people feel like, oh, I got to have all this money. No, you really don't. You either got to have cash flow or you got to have the credit. If you don't have the cash flow, that's okay, because we'll help you with that. And again, if you're part of the Timeverse community, reach out to the person that invited you. If they're a guest, say, hey, I'm ready to get going. Or if I invited you, reach out to me and say, hey, okay, I'm ready to get going. I want to start investing. It's August right now, guys. I don't know if you've really thought about this, but we got like 5 more months left in the year, right? And so now is a great time to make sure you set yourself up, because that money is coming in every single month. Dominique, when you started experiencing the ROI, I mean, what was that feeling like? I mean, you went from one door to how many doors? Like, what was the time frame there?
Yeah, so it was definitely life changing, right? So I started with one. I was like, all right, this is great. I'm testing this out. And then from there, I was fully committed to scaling out, right? So I was able to tap into many creative ways to get money in order to continue to scale out. And then, of course, once you get multiple properties, that is a cash flow that you can reinvest as well, right? But it has definitely been life changing. And when we really, I know a lot of people, we talk about generational wealth and how can we build a legacy. And this is definitely a way to do so, right? Like, these properties will appreciate and they will continue the cash flow. And it is something that you can continue to pass down. You can continue to build out your portfolio. So yes, it is definitely life changing. It is something that I, wish I would have even done it prior to when I started, right? I was like, why did I take so long? Because I definitely had some experience through my parents being in the business, but I didn't really want to do anything with real estate at first, right? Because as many kids, you're kind of rebellious, like my parents do this, I don't want anything to do with this. But I was able to pretty young realize, wow, like this is something that I can really make large, right? And you look back and it's like, wow, how did I get here? But it is definitely possible for just everyday people. You do not have to be rich. You do not have to have a ton of money. You just have to use your money in a wise way, tap into your network, lean on others, and continue to learn.
Yeah. So you started, how long did it take you to get 30 doors? What was that time frame?
So 3 years was the time frame, right? So I was definitely pumping out houses very frequently. There were months where I was working on 5, 6 projects at once, but I definitely didn't start there, right? I started with 1, then 2, then 3, and then I was able to really start working on things in bulk or purchase properties in bulk, right? So that's how I was able to scale out so quickly. But I've seen investors create a plan and really just execute that plan. And of course, things can happen along the way. And you may say, okay, I can actually scale out to even more properties than I originally thought. So it's really just having that vision, creating that goal, and following that.
And I think it's really interesting that you have some investors that have never even stepped foot in Flint, Michigan.
Definitely, yes. Many investors have not been to the city. They are out of state. They're on the other side of the country, but they've really seen the opportunity to tap into ROI here. There's not many places in the US where you can pay $40,000 and rent a single family home for $850 a month, right? Like this is definitely a unique situation that you will not see everywhere. So
It's very
people have
unique. I
really
mean, Dominique, I'm traveling like, everywhere all the time. And I can tell you, I've been to Orlando recently, Baltimore, I mean, within the last 30 days, Baltimore, Orlando, where else have I been? Atlanta, Chicago. Like when I hit the streets and I'm talking to the investors there, I mean, on the low end in a lot of those cities, 190,000, 200,000. It's just, I mean, what is happening in the Flint and Detroit area is just, it's definitely complete gold mine,
Mhm.
complete. And so, and I that's why I wanted you to highlight the fact that you have a lot of investors that have not even come to the state of Michigan, you know what I mean, like period at all. So yeah, and the investors, do they look like me or you?
No, they do not, right? And I think that's the something that's really compelling to me, just really being able to help other investors who look like me and you get into this, right? Because they are able to tap into such a great ROI and scale out and really build a business model out of this and really tap into something that is passive, right? Because especially if you're using a turnkey model, of course, if you want to come out and look at the property, would love for you to do so, would love to have you on the ground seeing what's happening, but you don't have to. If you have a busy life, if you have jobs, kids, all of that, it is something that you can really create in a passive way.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So, guys, listen, when you join the Top Reverse family, we're going to help you get your credit together. We're going to help you get the capital. We're going to help you find these off market properties, whether it's in your local city or whether you say, hey, I want to get in where the deals are. I always tell investors, have an investor mindset. Go where the deal is. Don't feel like it's got to be, in your neighborhood or around the corner or 5 miles from you. Go where the deal is. We're going to make sure you got the support there. And then we have property management companies that we can refer to help you manage those properties so that you are not, having to be bothered with, managing those properties yourself. We're going to help you get the system set up so that it's turnkey. The money's just coming into your account and you don't have to worry about collecting rent or, stopped up toilet or any of those things. Everything in the community that you need is there. And so I really want to encourage you guys, get back with the person that invited you on here. We have 4 main packages that I'm going to share really quickly that's super simple for you to become a part of this, that I think is really, really game changing for you guys. So of course, you're going to get the hard asset education. These are my business partners, amazing, amazing people. We made a couple million together between 2008 and 2010 in the beauty industry. This is me, the visionary. And so there are three main divisions of Tavaverse. There's Tava Fit, which is nutritional products. Our nutritional products are amazing. They were put together by some of the top scientists and physicians in the nation. I literally use our products every single day: multivitamin, detox tea, collagen, weight loss, CBD, organic coffee. The products really are amazing. Then we have travel discount, and then Tavaverse, which is the financial part of things that I'm really talking about tonight. Financial literacy statistics, I shared some of those things with you. Unfortunately, most people do not own their own property. When you look at comparison, I think they said 60% of the houses throughout the entire nation are rentals, right? That is a problem. Not only do we want to help you, earn your own, buy your own home, your primary home, but we want to make sure you become an investor as well. We're going to show you how to leverage those assets. You're going to understand global economic trends. Tavaverse is for anybody that owns a business or real estate, or anybody that wants to own a business or real estate. Okay. We're going to help you with the mindset, the global economics. We're going to teach you how to structure the deal in real estate, which is important. We're going to make sure you get the funding. We're going to make sure the credit is together, the systems are together, the marketing is together, and you will have access to all of these things. We have tax accountants and tax strategists to make sure that the entities are set up properly, which is very important. You'll have access to 6 sessions per week. So every single night, one of our educators are getting on and giving you the tea on mortgages, giving you the tea on how to structure the deal evaluation, how to draw comps for the properties, rental fees, Section 8, V8, prison reform, everything in real estate, mortgages, you're going to learn it. Our real estate field trips are the funnest. I'm going to actually be with Dominique on August the 24th this month, and in Flint, Michigan at 4:00. We're literally going to walk and look at off-market investment properties for you guys to actually, you can literally put bids on right there on the spot. Okay. Then that night at 7 p.m., you'll have an opportunity to come to another Tavaverse member that owns her own commercial property and event space. We're going to have a meeting there that night where you can bring your guests, your family, your friends that you want to hear about this amazing information. And then that Saturday morning, we'll be going out in the city of Detroit looking at properties on Saturday at 10 a.m. These are the 4 different packages. There's $1,200 pack. The $1,200 pack is going to give you access to our wealth mastermind. Okay. That wealth mastermind is super, super important. I always tell people that proximity does matter. Okay. It does matter. You're going to actually, this week, we're going to be bringing on a good girlfriend of mine who is an authentic, certified, multiple millionaire. She's number 37 in the country, a patent attorney and brand attorney. And so those wealth conversations are really, really important for your growth and development. And that's going to be happening next week. And again, that package is $1,200. It's also going to give you access to 24 different nutritional products. Then there's a $500 pack. You're going to get 12 different nutritional products here. And if you say, hey, I really want that $1,200 because I want to be a part of the mastermind groups, we'll give you up to 30 days to upgrade from $500 to $1,200 by paying $700. And then there's a $300 pack. You're going to get 5 nutritional products, paying the difference of $900 between the $300 and the $1,200. You'll pay $900, and then a $200 plan. Okay. Any of these packages, you can just say, hey, I just want to buy it one time. Or you can do the upgrade, okay? Or you could just say, hey, I'm going to do the $200 pack, and then I'll pay $150 every single month for the monthly subscription of the financial education. Now, if you decide that you want to add on nutritional products every month, you can, and that would be in addition to the $150. If you say, I'm not interested in the nutritional, I just want the financial support, education, and invest, then that'll be $150 every single month, okay? So these are your options. And again, get back with the person that invited you on here tonight, and we'll bring you into this amazing wealth community. So Dominique, any last words for people who might, be watching and like, man, that sounds so good, but I'm just a little scared. What would you say to them?
Yes, I would say just do it, right? You have to lead by faith. You have to take risk within business, within entrepreneurship. Make sure you, of course, educate yourself, but definitely create a vision and execute that vision. I think that's what's really important. Many of us may think about things that we desire, but we really have to put it down on paper, execute that vision, network, talk to others, and just do it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I think, when I look at what you're doing, I think it is amazing because there are two challenges that I would say real estate investors have. One is to be able to find off market properties,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in the first place. Dre. Then two, getting contractors that you can trust to do the work. They're
Right.
not going to steal your tools, right? Or they're not going to be, trying to sleep in your house unless that's what you've made that agreement for them to stay to protect the property. But I think those are probably the most two challenging things that people in real estate that want to invest is finding great deals off market properties and then finding contractors that will fix them up in a timely manner and not overcharge them. Would you agree with that? Or
I agree 100%, right? It's just being able to have the networking resources and really the knowledge, right? Because with experience, you definitely learn, but being able to tap into a model or into a network where all of that can be provided for you is definitely a huge value add. So, you, yeah, that's really all I could say there. I mean, it's life changing overall, but just take that leap of faith, do it, execute your vision, and figure out what works for you.
that's good. Thanks, Dominique, for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Guys, thanks so much for joining tonight. You guys have a great night, and we look forward to having you a part of our amazing Towerverse family. Good night. Bye-bye.